Welcome, everybody. Like us just tap in. My name is Amy Elias, and I am here today to discuss with you how to feel whole, happy, and healthy. So, we want to feel whole, happy, and healthy by the life that we have, by embracing all that is within ourselves, with what's around us, circumstances, so that we don't need to argue with what is, but we just embrace it and make the best of it. So, I wanted us to sit down and just kind of find a place where you can hold on to one knee and have the other foot beneath you. But settle down. Feel the back of your body without judgment, with complete acceptance, with deep compassion for this presence and awareness for this right now moment. Let's tap into the goodness of what is really actually good happening. Can you breathe? If you can breathe, then that's a good thing. If you know you're breathing, that's even better. So we want to really be able to tap into that. I'm going to fix this a little higher. Okay. Alrighty. Let's take our hands, this on the other side, crisscross, and settle in. Like I dream of Genie, lift the elbows so high and bring them back. Open up the throat. So by crossing the heart, this is the manifestation of bringing both opposites together in the midline. Bringing that right here. Coalescing that which is different. Take the other hand on top. And then holding on to each elbow and opening up the armpits. And lift up the chin. Suck the armpits back. I have clientele from basically very young to very, very old. And even for myself, there are times where we may feel, or at times of my life, I may have felt like I wasn't enough or good enough, or I may have been critical. How many people you know that don't like their bodies, they don't like their career, they don't like the things that they do, they don't like their house, they don't like their relationships. There's a constant stream of negative self-talk. So open the arms and switch it to the other one. So this place of feeling flawed, and that came to me from a little girl, I would say a third or fourth grader, who said that her flaws, she said my flaws. And it hurt me to hear her say my flaws, as if she's owning something, because she's perfect just as she is. No, we don't need to strive to be perfect in what is perfect. And take the hands down and on your lap. So this is kind of a moment for us to really think about, like, is it really perfection that we're looking for? Is it self-acceptance, radical self-acceptance? It doesn't mean we need to look like the model. We don't need to have anything to be in a perfect way. I was told from my own mother that if a whole bunch of people were in a gymnasium, they threw their shoes into the middle of this circle, for instance, and all the troubles were inside of those shoes, whose shoes would you take back? And I learned very early on, like seventh grade, that I take my own shoes back because I know what I have in my life. I know my family, I know my feelings, I know how everything goes. So that is what I go for. To aspire to evolve yourself is one thing, but we really want to utilize this place of bringing back forth the left side, right side, the yin, the yang, the disparities of ourselves, or what we think of ourselves, into this midline. Sometimes it's a widened midline. It's not like a slice of perfection, like a crease on a book, but it's like, all right, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But we make art with what that is. So let's take our hands into Anjali Mudra. And it's left hand. There's a little seam right here, right? So just step into that. Close your eyes. You lift up your chest and feel the whole heart rise as the roots of your thumbs come onto the top of your chest. So we find this place of really being soft and gentle with ourselves. And in this drawing in from our hands, we want to make an offering. And today, rather than see ourselves as flawed, we're seeing ourselves by saying my flaws, by owning my. People say, quote unquote, my this, my that, my illness, my this. It's not so much mine. It's a health challenge, perhaps. So the words, the Matrika Shakti, the words that we use to depict our life carry vibration. So as you hear an Anjali Mudra, you could just bow your head into this vastness, this deep heart. As you surrender your head to your heart, the mind opens. This vastness of an open heart allows the mind to be free. And we find this place that's in between, the sense of oneness, the sense of unity. Let's continue to breathe nice and then very gently take 2 more breaths. Inhaling, breathing into the back waistline, the back of the lungs. The deeper we breathe and the more we exhale, we massage the lungs and the heart. Last breath. Good. And then very gently take the hands down. And let's just lean forward. Bend the elbows and shrug one shoulder on your back and the other shoulder and just soften. Knowing that you're never alone as we practice with each other. We're opening up to every possibility that's possible, just that we're here. So we call this, the people that we're practicing with, whether we see them or not, a kula. And a kula is a community of the heart. And we, our body, is a community of the heart. The things that we say to ourselves is a community. So what do we say? Keep shrugging. See if you get the shoulder blades on the back body, like 2 loving hands. And together we are like this beautiful luminous string of pearls that we glisten together, just much like the beads on a mala or the beads on my bracelet. Each one has its own divine luster. So softly, just come on up and open up to all the possibilities and the gifts that you possess. So let's list those gifts. We often get too stuck in what's not right and the things that we don't like. But what are the gifts that we have? Inhale, bring them all the way into the midline. And then exhale, bring them just parallel to the earth. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up. And exhale, release. Inhale, last time, come all the way up. But this time, exhale and place your left hand down and lean all the way over, letting your head stay in line with your spine. Keep finding that place of breath, connection, and all that's right in this moment. Your body's working, you can hear my voice. You're able to carve out some space for yourself. And then inhale, rise, both hands open, arms are parallel to each other. And then exhale, take the hands parallel. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up for 1. And then exhaling, twice more. Inhale, bringing all those gifts together in the midline, this coalescence, the widened midline. And then exhale. Last one, inhale, come all the way up. This time, just lean to your right. Lean all the way over. Take the bicep next to your ear and just lift up. Find the breath, making space to recalibrate, to remember the divinity of who you really are. We come in as we are. And we find perfection in this moment. We find what's perfect about our imperfections. Why is that good? It's our unique way of expressing ourselves. Whether you're a child, I never want a child to feel that they somehow don't measure up. So inhale, come all the way up. This time in a V, and exhale, suck the armpits back. So we're going to detach the arms and exhale, suck the shoulder blades on the back. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Good. And let's take that other knee up. Before I did my right knee, let's hold on. If you take this front foot and put it underneath, inhale, lift up the heart. Lift all the way up. And then exhale, soften. Inhale, lift up. And exhale. Once more. Nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to find this place where we can, what we do like cat-cow, but we're going to be doing it sitting. So by taking your hands on your knees, one heel is in front of the other, lift up and get the side body long. So you want to create deep length from hip to armpit. Creating spaciousness in this container. This open is open to every possibility. Seeing the luminosity of your heart shine in every direction, particularly this time of the year. It's going to be Christmas, the longest day of the year coming. The darkest day is coming. The shortest day is coming of sunlight. So shrug the shoulders up and lean forward. Let the heart melt. The elbows float out to the sides and a little bit towards me. And breathing. Let your face look as if you're narcissist and you're looking at your reflection in the water. And look down. Breathing again into this whole spine. The spine and the brain, the connection between the cranial sacral fluid and the cranium and the sacrum is very, very important. We want to move it, this pulsation, as it dances, feeding your cells and the brain. And the breath is the king of the nervous system is the king of the breath. And then just lean forward, fingertips in the ground, so touch the earth. See if you get a little bit deeper. Just come to left and right. Easy. Feeling that low belly move to one side and the low belly moving to the other side. Finding this beautiful place of your special place of who you are, and trust in where you've come from, and that you are a manifestation of all the people that have come before you, all the circumstances, all the wars, all the hurricanes, all the tornadoes, and yet you still prevail. And soften and come down and walk your fingertips way forward. Keep lifting up the underbelly of the arms. The fingertips are in the ground, so you get power and strength. These gifts that we have is to find who we are, to know who we are, to have confidence in that, to knowing that it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of us. What matters is that we have radical self-affirmation. And then gently walk yourself right back up. And release. Good. We'll do this. I did this morning. You take one hand under your armpit and one hand under the other armpit and shrug your shoulders up. What we're doing here is balancing both lobes of the brain, left and right brain. And we're finding that balance by just tapping in, taking a little bit of quietude. And I will remain silent for the next 45 seconds as you breathe and notice how your body expands and contracts through the flow of your own life force. At 10 more seconds, breathing. Last one. And then take the hand that's under and place it on top and tuck the hand onto the armpit on that side. This one probably feels more uncomfortable because it's not your first one to go to. So we want to really test ourselves to do what feels uncomfortable, to stretch ourselves so that we can evolve and have more sense of ourselves, to live this life being completely embodied in the present moment. That all the insecurities that we've gathered up until this point are just that. They're not real. They're just thoughts that we thought about something or heard about from somebody else that we somehow didn't measure up. There's not one way to be. So express yourself in your own unique way. Last 2 breaths. Nice. And then very gently remove the hands. And let's Velcro our 2 thumbs together. One palm faces you and one palm faces me. Bringing them together, twist the thumbs and press it on your chest. We call this a butterfly breath. This really soothes the nervous system. So let your hands respond to the expansion and contraction of your chest. So when you inhale, there's air between your bones, between your muscles, between your skin, and let it just fill up. You may want to tap, fluttering the wings of your butterfly. And then when you feel a little bit settled, sit bones down, top of the head to the sky, and very softly take the hands out to the side, right behind you. And from here, just lean forward again. Rather than jutting the chin or tucking the chin, find that neutral place, lengthening the back of the skull, and fall forward, keeping connection to the floor. Again, pretending that you're Narcissus, seeing your face and enjoying what you see, knowing that you're beautiful just as you are. There's no one person that's more beautiful in their heart and soul. There's no ideal neshama, heart and soul. And now softly take your hands and come onto your hands and knees. So let's come on. But from here, we want to take our hands with the wrist wrinkles are parallel to the front line of your mat. So you want to just take that there. And let your knees be slightly behind your hips. There we go. And soften. So puff up the back body so this is full, so that your heart can melt right inside. Look at your wrist wrinkles and make sure they're parallel to the front line of your mat. We're going to inhale, look forward, and let your eyes trace up the wall ahead of you, all the way to the sky, melting your heart. So if you could extend that neck. And then exhale, point your toe and look down. So we'll call this like a Halloween cat, looking down into the belly. Next, inhale, curl your toes, inner thighs roll back, fill up the back body, and trace your eyes up the front wall. And exhale, look inside. Twice more. Inhale, curl the spine, curl the toes, look ahead, tracing it up. And exhale. And last one, inhale. And exhale all the way back. Stay here. Take the fingertips outside of your mat and open the knees wide. 2 big toes touch. So you're going to inhale and melt the heart once again. Shrug one shoulder and the other. Look ahead. Narcissist, see if you can see your face in the water. Nice. And then softly walk over to your right side, which I guess if you're reflecting, it would be this way. Walking all the way over, lengthening from left hip to left armpit. And melt. One more breath. Finding the fullness of who you are in this one moment, your own divine nature. Then cross through midline and come all the way to your left side, keeping that right outer hip down and leaning all the way, moving that right low belly to the left. Find them in place of the midline, not an exact line, but not too hot, not too cold, but that Goldilocks place, just in the middle, without judgment. Then inhale, come center again, high on the fingertips, and melt the heart. Now come onto your knees once again. Curl your toes and you stand high on your fingertips. Shrug the shoulders, stretching like taffy from hip to armpit. Point your toes and look inside. Next, inhale, take your right foot forward and walk that left knee all the way back. Straddle the front right foot with your fingertips and just stay present. Breathing, doing a great job. Why do we do this? Why do we do our yoga? Like, why are we moving? What does that have anything to do with the way we feel? Because we're moving energy. We're moving life force, and we're teaching our brain, and our brain is teaching our body what it feels like to feel beautiful, to love who we are, to honor the individual differences, and yet we're all the same. That's why. We're teaching it. Now sickle the hips, take left hip forward, right hip back, sickle sideways. Good. And then very gently soften. See if you can really melt the heart. If you can walk your right foot to the right a little bit more and see if you can come onto your elbows and just melt right inside that right knee. See if you can get your right elbow to the earth and shrug your shoulders. Keep finding the space between the shoulder blades so that the shoulder blades can literally glide toward one another. Again, finding that midline on the back plane of the body. Great work. So the back foot is super active. It's not just hanging out there. It's like really curled, squeezing. It's dragging that back knee forward and the front heel back. Keeping that left elbow down, take the right hand to the thigh and begin to spin that left low belly all the way to the right. Let the spine go first and the head go last. And then inhale, open the arm to face the back foot, palm side up. Inhaling. Then exhaling, extending, open up that whole right flank. Inhale, open all the way up, take a fresh breath of air, renewed source of energy and resourcing yourself. And exhale, knowing that this moment will never come again. Here we are. And exhale. Take both hands onto your mat, and then we're going to come into what we call down dog. So lift up the back foot and come back. Sending the inner thighs back, getting a nice curve in the low spine. Good. Feeling the breath, take the front ribs into the back of the body, filling up the back waistline and melt the heart. Gently come onto all fours once again, just like we did before. And then exhale, sit all the way back, pose of a child. Come to the outer hand so that the palms face each other. Fire up the fingertips from fingertips to elbows to armpits. Drag isometric into the back of the body. Let the back of the neck get long again. Reflecting on your strengths, how our strengths really empower us. And focusing on that which we want to create more of. Let's suppose you're feeling, if you're a child or an adult or however old you are, sometimes people feel lonely this time of year. So in this feeling of loneliness, see if you can see the times of your day, or yesterday, the day before, what you're looking forward to, or where there's connection to yourself first and to others. And how do you serve the bigger picture of our kula? On the next inhale, take the hands on your
Low back, palms face up. See if you get your head to touch the ground. If you can, you could take both fists and do it this way. Or you could take a stack of books and then keep your hands on your back. On your next inhale, I want you to sweep the arms all the way up. And then exhale right back down. Once more, twice more, I should say. Inhale all the way up. And exhale. Last one. Inhale, come to the sky, open, and then exhale right back into cat pose. Take that left leg forward and walk the right leg all the way back. Yep, good work. Stay here, just begin to breathe and begin to notice where your breath is. Perhaps it's feeling stuck. Perhaps you forgot to breathe, or you holding your breath, or you're thinking about what your chores are, or there's someplace else to go. Take that left hand on the top left thigh and begin to spin the right low belly to the left. Keep shrugging the shoulders, keeping a long container, making your body and your mind new. We're creating something new. We've never arrived in this moment. So spin the right low belly to the left a little bit more. And then inhale, open the left arm. And exhale over your head, open this whole left flank. Inhale, open all the way up. Exhale. If you want to go a little deeper, come onto the right forearm. Inhale and exhale. Twice more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. See if you can get both elbows down. And we're just going to soften here. So that getting that left elbow down and the right staying here. And pulling that front left heel back and the back knee forward. Getting the thigh bones into the hip sockets, into the acetabulum, relaxes the nervous system. We have different forces of winds within our body, and Apanavayu, we want to root down. We get uprooted this time of the year with the dry air and the cold and the actual winds. And then inhale, come back, plant your hands, and take that foot back and come into all fours. And soften. And sit all the way back. Open the knees wide as the mat. Fingertips in the ground. And then inhale, rise. Come onto your right butt cheek and take that left leg over the right thigh. And hold up that knee. So as you hold the shin, you're going to lift up and see if you can both sit bones on the ground. It may be that your left hip wants to pop up, so see if you can kind of lean over. If that's the case, even bring your front foot in front of the shin, of the right shin, and hold it this way. Getting long, nice and tall. Find some breath. So twist, neutralize. So if you're feeling a little bit too judgmental of yourself, a good twist helps. So hold on to the outer left shin, lift up the left arm, begin to spin the right low belly to the left. And plant that left hand behind you. You can stay here. This is step one. Step two, you can take your elbow over, get longer, so you root, and move that right low belly to the left. But don't spin your head quicker than your spine is going. The head only goes last. So everything else goes first, like the barbershop stripes. So inhale, come forward, finding your strengths as opposed to flaws. Taking that left foot on top of the bottom knee, we begin to find a new position, a new pose. So this is Not so much about the pose, but it's about what does it offer us. We learn patience. Let's suppose you have very tight hips and you can't even get your knee down, it's up here. You could put like a bolster, pillows, so let's suppose you can't get down, just rest it on something. A block, so you can, if you have a block with you, just put it here, whatever that may be, something where you're not straining, because we want to love ourselves. We want to self-honor. We want to give ourselves that place of self-honor. So be there first. So dropping the knee, tapping that the top foot and the bottom foot. See if you can kind of wiggle the inner thighs down and back so you kind of open it up behind you. And press and lean forward once again. We are opening up the hips here. This does change and transmute and transform a lot of stuck energy in the hips, particularly again this time of the year, the winter time, the cold air, the winds. Find the breath. Find in the midline, like, okay, maybe I was too tight. Maybe I still feel tight, but where do I find freedom? What makes my freedom? What makes this pose beautiful for me right now? What about it? Where can I find the beauty in it? And then a little bit more forward. If you wish, you can also take your hands forward again and melt the heart. Good. Inhale, come up. This time, see if you can lean back and slide one elbow and the other elbow and just give a little twist. I'm going to kind of shimmy the knee back and forth, keeping the toes alert like birthday candles. Nice and alert. Celebrating yourself. So imagine this was your birthday in this one moment and just celebrate yourself right now. What's amazing about you right here? What's something that's, when you think about it, you feel like that feels really good to me. And then very gently release it down and switch legs. Bring up the right leg. Again, if you feel that this is too easy, then you can take it over your left knee. Walk the left knee over, but make sure you get both sit bones down equally. Again, if this is difficult, then bring that front foot, the top right foot, on front of the shin. I'm going to try this side a little bit deeper. So open it up and make sure both sit bones are down. And see if you can really glue the front right foot to the earth. So that has to really root in. And stay here. And from this place of solidity, this place of knowingness about yourself, about, I know who I am. I know my strengths. I really know who I am. I know how I use them. I know what's great about me. I know what's good. I know what works. I know what I offer other people. I know my influence. I know my creativity. I know my consciousness. I know my solidarity. Whatever that may be, root into it. Then gently hold that left shin with the right hand and begin to twist the left low belly all the way to the right. Again, keeping the head neutral, honoring yourself and twisting. And lift up the right arm and twist way behind you. Take that left elbow in front, and you can get a little longer, taller on the inhale, and exhale, twist around the spine. Any part of that, feel free. So the idea is for us all to feel whole, happy, and healthy. There's no other option. We should be wasting our time on any other thought than the thoughts that make us feel whole, happy, and healthy. And to reaffirm and constantly go back over it, how your day is always working out for you. And things are always working out. You may not see it in this red hot second, but it's there. And then gently come center. And now see if you can stack top right ankle on top of the bottom left knee. Again, if there's space between here and you can't go down, then you're going to put a block right there, right? So hold on, tap the soles of the feet and press inward. So when you press inward, you allow for good boundaries, make good neighbors. Good fences make it. When we squeeze in, we're able to give freedom to the inner thighs and the hip structure. So press in and lean forward. Mhm. Taking that nice breath, remembering who you are, and continuing breathing, expanding. We can go back and forth a little bit like we did before. You can walk your fingertips forward and pulling the floor towards your shins so that the armpits get hollow and soft and hard. Nice. And the last thing we're going to do with this pose, we're going to come back up and lean backwards and slide the right elbow underneath and the left. Toes are like birthday candles. We're celebrating your authentic self, who you really are, why you're even in a body, and celebrate that eternal essence of who you are. Over and over again, remembering your goodness, never doubting, rooting down into it, feeling your sit bones on the floor, reminding you that you are all that. Nice. And very gently take foot down, hit the soles of the feet to touch in Baddha Konasana. This is called cobbler's pose. So in ancient India, it's told that the whole shoes and then do it. So it's a really wonderful way to bow to oneself. So when you surrender that mind to the heart, the mind just surrenders and falls into it. And you expand into the vastness of who you really truly are. Because there's so much more that we don't know. We are like icebergs. We only see the tip. So when we take some time to bend time, to slow it down, we're able to notice that there is so much more to ourselves. And then very softly, after you take 3 beautiful, healing, restorative breaths, you can walk your elbows in front of the shins to get a little bit deeper. You can clasp your hands around your toes as you press the 4 points of your soles together and bow down. And now rise up. Excellent. And then extend both legs ahead of you. Open up the flesh. Putting down. Good. Just soften. Come more forward. Keep a mini bend of your knees, so just walking forward. And then let's come lie down onto the ground. And as you lie here, let your knees be bent. And extend the right leg to the sky. Interlace your hands behind the thickest part of your hamstring muscle. So that would be this part that pops out, not the knee, not the sit bone, but the place in the middle. Again, always Goldilocks, not too hot. And you're going to press the right thigh bone forward as you pull the femur bone into the hamstring muscle. The head is pressing to the ground and the chin is up, more not tucked, not jutting, but that place in between. Let's take 6 really beautiful long breaths as you press, pull. And then very softly release that leg and extend it along the ground and see if you can match both hip points So kind of feel, you can either press them down to create an arch in the low back, or pull them up and see which feels best to you. Then withdraw the top left leg and interlace your hand. You can keep that other knee bent if you desire, whatever's comfortable for you. Again, press the back of the head so that there's a little place for a little mouse to run underneath the back of your neck. So you're sucking the armpits back, you're pulling that femur bone into your hamstring as you press your thigh away. Take 3 more long breaths, pulling into, drawing into all that is you, this auspicious nature, this mystery. You are the gift you're seeking. There's nothing else out there but you. You're inside. Alignment brings us into balance. So we find that by aligning to the divine within ourselves over time. Last breath. And then exhale, release. The next pose, press your elbows down to lift the chest up and roll the shoulder blades on the back. From here, inhale, rise the hips, and then exhale, release. 3 more. Inhale, rise, hold, drag the heels towards your booty, and then exhale, release. Inhale, rise, and exhale, release. Inhale, rise, and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Nice. Very gently take the hands down, lift up the hips a little bit to your right, and drop your knees to the left. And then rotate that left rib cage to the sky as the top right ribs roll down. So you get a nice twist. So breathe and lift up the right arm behind you, or you can put it in a L next to you, elbow in line with your right shoulder. Begin to just breathe here, this top right lung. So breathe in the more of you, the beautiful essence that you can sense in this vastness that's around us. And then inhale, come up to center, elbows to the ground again. Center yourself, so look at your mat, make sure you're in the center. Elbows down, chest up, and lift up the hips a little bit and move the hips to the left, or the opposite way, and drop the knees to the right. Elbows in a cactus pose position, and you're just breathing. We're looking to move this right bottom rib more to the sky. We're looking to drop this top left rib down. Good. And then gently inhale, rise, and just pause for a moment. You take your hands to your belly, you take your soles of your feet as we did before, let the knees fall open, and just take a moment to rest. We call this Shavasana. It's the most difficult pose for anybody to have because it's having to sit still and to be with oneself, which could be very challenging, especially if we offer criticism and judgment. So as you're here, take one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. And know that you are everything all at the same time and connected to each of us. Never alone, always expanding. And reverse the hands, take the other one down. Feel that beautiful, courageous breath, the chest. Notice how it swells open into the fullness of who you truly are. And then when you're ready, you can remove the hands and close your knees up like a book and roll over to one side, resting one ear in the crux of your elbow And then taking your fingertips to the floor, extend the top leg and press yourself to the floor. Okay, guys, it's such a good job. I'm so proud of you. So let's come together with ourselves. Just taking a moment, one hand in front of the other, and closing with the beauty, this life affirming attitude, this self honor, being your own best friend. Take the hands to the heart, again at Anjali Mudra. Hari Om Tat Sat, Shalom, Shanti, peace to you, to others, through the universe, and a prayer for an ease of well being for all people throughout the world. Shine your individual light in every moment that you can find. Namaste.